fun in the sun on one of Dubai's many rented jet skis. But it was here that one British tourist holiday ended in disaster. 37-year-old Kathleen Morgan's jet ski collided at speed with a Russian tourist. She spent 2 weeks recovering in this hospital under police guard. The Russian died of his injuries, and she's since been charged with manslaughter and forbidden to leave the country. Back in Britain, her family worry when she'll next see her children.
She's just trying to be strong for the children. I mean, some days she's okay, and other days, you know, she's really low. And, you know, all she does really is talk about her children. She just misses them so much. She wants to get home to see them.
Under local Dubai law, she must pay £25,000 in blood money to the Russian's family if convicted. But her lawyer is confident he can prove her innocence.
She wasn't reckless. She wasn't negligent. She hasn't done anything wrong. The accident was not her fault. And I think at the end of the day in the trial, we will be able to show all this, and the evidence will bear this out.
When Ms. Morgan appears in court on Sunday, her relatives will be praying he's right.
The case of Kathleen Morgan has highlighted not just the dangers of jet skiing, but also of travelling without full insurance for accidents. If the courts find her guilty of manslaughter, then she faces possible imprisonment here in Dubai, as well as having to pay thousands of pounds in blood money.
And with jet skis getting ever more powerful, this holiday tragedy is unlikely to be the last of its kind. Frank Gardner, BBC News, Dubai.
And the time is just about 6:15. In a few moments, another triumph on the railways. This time the new trains don't fit the platforms. Bank holiday chaos at Heathrow. There's been a big power failure at Europe's busiest airport.
And later, Charles...
Pretty original. This time the trains are too wide to fit into the stations. It's been found that parts of 2 new fleets of carriages ordered by Railtrack for use in southern England will not fit between some platforms. Our transport correspondent Simon Montague tells the story.
On a trial run, this is the first of £450 million worth of new trains for commuters in southern England. The only problem is they're too wide to fit the stations. It's emerged the gap between the platform and the edge of the carriage will be too narrow at some stations in Kent and Sussex. Before the new trains can replace this old slam-door rolling stock, Railtrack will have to spend £2 million, shaving around 10 millimetres off the platform edges.
These trains are perfectly adequate for the majority of stations. Indeed, the majority of routes they'll work over for Connex South Eastern are already clear. But we have a number of stations which we need to do some works on to ensure that where we've got the trains almost level at other stations, we can now deliver at those as well.
The same problems also hit South West trains in Berkshire and Hampshire, where a second fleet of new trains is due to be introduced. Both rolling stock manufacturers have blamed Railtrack for not providing the correct safety information at design stage. Railtrack will pay for modifications to station platforms, but the company hasn't yet accepted responsibility for the cost. Simon Montague, BBC News.
They used to cost £200. Now the special boxes you need for digital television are being given away for nothing. It's all part of the intense competition in the market for digital services.
London's Oxford Street this morning, and a pair of gladiators add their muscle to the publicity drive for one of the 2 digital rivals, On Digital, the one which broadcasts to ordinary rooftop aerials. Even though the receivers are free, there's a hard sell television commercial because you still have to pay to watch the programmes. They claim it's a television revolution.
This box will change the way you watch telly forever. It'll entertain
But why are both companies giving receivers away?
On Digital is in the programming business. What we're trying to do is to remove the barriers. So as of today, you can come down here, you can take a box, take it home, you pay nothing. Nothing for the box, nothing for connection, subscribe to us, and you really try it.
Of course, nothing in this world's entirely free. You might get the set-top box for nothing, but you will have to pay more to subscribe to both On Digital's channels and Sky Digital's than those people who've already paid £200 for a receiver.
Sky, like its rival, is also offering cheap phone calls. That's to try and compete with cable television companies who've yet to launch their digital TV services.
It's obviously a race to the home. and that's one of the reasons why we're doing it. We want to get out there as quickly as possible, and consumers have the choice to decide which one they want to go for.
Sky's services will soon include this interactive sports channel.
You've come home late and missed the start of the game. You have to see that first half goal. Now you can.
Select your own instant replay and camera angles, the kind of thing the companies hope will persuade 12 million of us to go digital by 2003. Nick Hyam, BBC News.
Now, a massive power failure at Heathrow Airport has already meant a miserable start to the bank holiday weekend for hundreds of travellers. The loss of power affecting Terminals 3 and 4 has led to suspended flights and huge delays for passengers. Robert Hall is at Heathrow for us. Robert, just how serious is it?
It's pretty bad, Hugh, on a very busy day. Above average figures expected, 170,000 passengers through the airport. At its peak, this cut affected, as you say, Terminals 3 and 4, the long-haul terminals. The better news in the middle of the afternoon was that they managed to get Terminal 4 back online, but I've just spoken to the airport and they still only have partial power restored at Terminal 3.